France is officially world's most popular tourist destination, with an estimated 89 million visitors each year. Learn about France's most beautiful and well-known regions, its islands and individual monuments before you set off on the trip yourself. France is divided into regions. The overseas territories, of which there are as many as 5, should still be remembered though. Each of them has something different to offer, and it would be worth visiting them all. Of course, this is not possible in one trip unless someone plans to stay in France for a few months. However, there are places and regions that ought to be seen. Hauts-de-France is the northernmost region of France and was shaped by the union of the two areas, Nord-Pas-de-Calais and Picardy. The region is mainly famous for the seaside town of Calais, from where, among other things, there is a ferry route to the UK. Other sites and cities worth seeing are Lille or Amiens. The Grand Estate region, as the name suggests, is located in eastern France and consists of the area of Alsace, Lorraine and Champagne-Ardenne. There are many things to see here, from the capital, Strasbourg, through the Vosges to cities such as Metz, Mulhouse and Nancy. In 1988, UNESCO listed the old town of Strasbourg as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The new town was also included in this list in 2017, which was an absolutely appropriate thing to do. When visiting Strasbourg, do not miss the following: Kléber Square, Rohan Palace, Archbishop's Palace, National Library and St. Paul's Church. You don't have to take notes. We have included all the practical info in the description below the video. That's where you can also find links with accommodation, tickets to attractions and tips on how to pay abroad so as not to overpay on currency conversions. Directly below the Grand Estate region lies the Bourgogne-Franche-Comte region, which was formed from the Burgundy and Franche-Comte areas. Here you can go hiking in the Jura and Vosges mountains and sip Burgundy wine in the evening. The Auvergne-Rhone Alps region was created from the combination of the Auvergne and Rhone Alps areas. It is best known for the city of Lyon. It is home to Mont Blanc, Europe's highest mountain. This colossus of almost 5,000 years is located at the border of France and Italy. Anyone who wants to go to Mont Blanc is bound to stop in the charming Chamonix, which is also considered a tourist center of that region. You can skiing and snowboarding here, or you can climb the peak. The Provence-Alpes Côte d'Azur region is one of the most beautiful in France because it combines mountainous landscape of the Alps with the fields of lavender of Provence and the dazzling sea of the Côte d'Azur. Every year from mid-June to mid-August, Provence turns into a violet dreamland. Especially in the Grignan and Manet area, where the fields bloom exceptionally beautifully. The Pont du Gard is also worth of attention. It is one of the most important preserved bridge structures of the ancient Rome and one of the most important attractions in southern France. It is 275 meters in total length and 49 meters high. The Verdun Gorge is also very interesting. It begins at the level of the city of Castellana and ends at Lac de Sainte Croix. Turquoise Verdun River winds for 21 kilometers along the canyon. In French, Corsica translates as Corse, which means the wonderful island where the time has stopped. Ideal for hiking and for great adventures. The Occitanie region holds just one name, however it too was created from the merging of the Languedoc-Roussillon and Midi-Pyrenees areas. In addition to visiting Toulouse, you can take a stroll along the Wine Trail, enjoy 220 kilometers of beaches, or just simply relax. One of the more exciting sights is the Gouffre de Padurac dripstone cave. This spectacular cave is located approximately 47 kilometers south of Brive-la-Gaillarde and is about 75 meters deep. It was discovered in the 13th century. The town of Carcassonne is famous for its medieval hilltop old town, which is called the site de Carcassonne and is actually more of a fortress than an old town. It has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1997. The Saint Michel Cathedral, the old Pont Vieux Bridge, the market halls and Neptune's fountain on Place Carnot are also worth a visit. The Atlantic region of Nouvelle Aquitaine consists of the Aquitaine, Limousin and Poitou-Charentes areas. It stretches from the Spanish border in southern France to the northern border of the two Loire areas. Nouvelle Aquitaine is an ideal destination alongside the Atlantic coast for surfers, sea and wine lovers. The Dune du Pilot is the highest moving dune in Europe, certainly one of the highlights of the Nouvelle Aquitaine region and one of the most visited attractions in France. It is 110 meters high, 500 meters wide and 2.7 kilometers long. The dune is located in the southern part of the town of Arcachon opposite the famous Cap Ferret. Centerval de Loire and Pays de la Loire lie right next to each other on the Nouvelle Aquitaine and are famous for the Loire and its splendid castles. The number of castles here is high and it would be hard to describe all of them. The most notable is certainly the Chambord Castle. It is the largest castle in the Loire Valley located about 15 kilometers east of Blois. Its white facade and several towers make you feel like you are in a fairy tale. Brittany is a peninsula that is known for its best pancakes and galettes, the charming city of Rhone and a number of other attractions. The stones of Carnac are particularly interesting. The rows of stones dating 7,000 years back stretch for almost 4 kilometers and are truly impressive. On the occasion you can look at flocks of sheep herding everywhere. The stones are certainly one of the most unusual sights in France. The salt gardens in Guérande are also worth a visit. They are very distinctive and you won't find them anywhere else. They are still operated in the traditional way by real salt miners. This is what makes them such a special attraction. Normandy is located in northeastern France. Rouen, Le Havre and Caen are the best-known cities of Normandy. The steep coastline of Étretat, with up to 100 meters high chalk cliffs rising out of the sea, can't be missed either. It is no surprise that this part of the Alabaster Coast is the most famous and has been an inspiration for many painters. The US Soldiers Cemetery in Omaha Beach is another interesting spot. Here you will find about 10,000 crosses commemorating soldiers killed on June 6, 1944 during World War II. All the crosses face the United States. The name Ile-de-France means the capital of France, which is Paris, as well as the magnificent Palace of Versailles. To list all the attractions of Paris in a few sentences is almost impossible. However, there are monuments in Paris which are, of course, some of France's most beautiful sights. These include the Staircase of the Sacré-Cœur, the Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame, Montmartre, the Luxembourg Garden, the Pompidou Center, and, of course, the Palace of Versailles. Charming and magical islands, white sandy beaches, turquoise waters and beautiful nature will surprise everyone. The beautiful island of Corsica is probably the most famous, but there are many other islands on which you can have your dream vacation. And not only in Europe, but also in the Caribbean where France has its overseas territories. Martinique deserves special attention. The island belongs to the Lesser Antilles, a chain of islands separating the Caribbean Sea from the Atlantic Ocean. There are waterfalls, tropical forest, and black and white sandy beaches. Mount Pelee, which is an extinct volcano, overlooks the island. The volcano is a sharp contrast to the south of the island, which is famous for its golden sandy beaches such as Les Anses d'Islets and Cap Chevalier. Ile de Porquerolles is an exotic Mediterranean island on the Var coast. The easiest way to get there is to take a ferry from Toulon. Porquerolles is ideal especially for those who enjoy cycling. There are about 51 kilometers of paths leading from beautiful sandy beaches in the north to pretty villages and impressive cliffs on the west of the island. Popular beaches include Notre Dame, La Courtade and Plage d'Argent with its clear turquoise waters. The island of Saint Marguerite lies in just a stone's throw from the film festival city of Cannes. It is about 3 kilometers long and 900 meters wide. The past of the island is much less calm as its forts once served to defend France. The residents of Cannes also established a prison on the island. Today, you can tour it. Some people book to stay in the fortress, which is also the only place of accommodation on Saint Marguerite. There are more than 20 kilometers of hiking trails that lead along the island's beautiful natural wonders. Saint Marguerite has been classified as a bird sanctuary and some areas are of limited access. From the end of the Roman Empire until the early 16th century, castles played a huge role in military defense and symbolized power and the fighting spirit. In France, there are still several thousand medieval castles with high towers or several meters of thick walls. The Kingdom of France was heavily fortified. Every city was protected behind high walls. While some medieval castles were destroyed or extensively ruined, others survived and today attract tourists from all over the world. In the Middle Ages, Provence hosted champagne fairs that were considered one of the most popular in Europe at the time. Numerous monuments, such as the Tower of Caesar and the Grange auxiliary domes, are evidence of its former splendor. 58 of the city's classified or registered monuments have been listed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites since 2001. Located less than an hour and a half from Paris, the city attracts millions of visitors each year. Mont Saint Michel is an abbey whose towers rise high into the sky. Its walls against which waves occasionally crash and its special atmosphere with evocative mysticism are reminiscent of the most beautiful castles of medieval France. It is a unique place between Normandy and Brittany that must be explored. Chateau du Haut Koenigsbourg Castle is located in Alsace near the German-French border. It was extensively restored by Kaiser Wilhelm II in the 19th century, and it gazes far into Alsace with its towers and walls. Red stone walls, numerous rooms and a beautiful view are integral to its success as a tourist destination. Chateau Pierrefonds was completely restored and partially rebuilt under the direction of architect Viollet-le-Duc and at the initiative of Emperor Napoleon III in the 19th century. This fairy tale-like castle on the edge of the Comte amusement park is all about romance combined with medievalism. It is a registered historic landmark and attracts many visitors each year. The medieval fortress of Castelnaud, which towers over the Dordogne Valley, is located opposite the citadel of Baynac. This monument, which houses the Museum of Medieval Wars, is now an important tourist destination in Nouvelle Aquitaine. Peyrepertuse Castle was built on a hill with an altitude of 800 meters above sea level. The ruined walls of Peyrepertuse seem to merge with the white rocks. It's recommended to climb up to this level and see its beauty. The castle of Baux de Provence towers over one of the most beautiful villages in France and offers a unique panorama of the Alps. It is a must-see spot for any Baux du Rhone visitor. There is an attractive tour arranged to visit the impressive ruins of the former residence of the Lords of Les Baux. Certainly, the first trip to France will not be the only trip. Numerous sights and attractions await people of all ages, and everyone will find something for themselves here. It is worth visiting this beautiful country located in the center of Europe. If you're already planning your trip, you can find accommodation and tickets to attractions on the spot in the links under the video description. You can also order a card for cheap payments abroad the same way. Press the bell and subscribe to our channel if you want to receive notifications about new episodes. Have a nice trip.